And for more on the story, we're joined by our correspondent in Brussels, Dave Keating. So Dave, have there been any developments on the budget so far?
No, actually, leaders were very keen not to talk about this tonight. The leaders have wrapped up. They've given their press conferences. Angela Merkel, German chancellor, who's heading up these negotiations, really refused to be drawn on this. They spent only 15 minutes during tonight's video summit talking about this EU budget impasse. That's because Council President Charles Michel called all the leaders beforehand and said that he did not want a big blow up about this tonight, that leaders should keep their statements short, and that actually everyone on the opposite side of Poland and Hungary should let Angela Merkel do the talking. So that's how it worked. It's hard to read from that if we're any closer to a compromise. I'm told that Viktor Orban's statement during the video summit tonight was short and simple. There weren't any big theatrics, no saber rattling. So that may mean that we're headed towards some kind of compromise here, although what kind of compromise that could be remains unclear. It's an option to take the COVID recovery fund part of this out of the budget and approve it separately, maybe even without Poland and Hungary being able to benefit from the funds. Another option would be to specify more about what rule of law means for this mechanism that Poland and Hungary are opposed to. And another option would be to just hold off on approving the budget, but that's an enormous headache. It means that the EU's 7-year budget, which is supposed to take effect on January 1st, wouldn't be ready. Essentially, the leaders have kicked this into the long grass. They want foreign ministers and EU ambassadors to deal with this next week.
Dave, I know they're also discussing a COVID response. Has there been any progress or news on that front?
Well, tonight they talked about coordinating the exit from the second lockdown. Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said she stressed to the leaders that they needed to do this in a cautious and careful way ahead of the Christmas holiday. She said that first lockdowns were ended too quickly, and that is why Europe found itself in the situation it's in the autumn. So she wants careful coordination on that. President Michel said that he knows the people want to have a holiday season with their loved ones, but it has to be a safe holiday season. There was good news. President von der Leyen said that she's been told by the European Medicines Agency that the start of approval for COVID vaccines, at least 2 of the COVID vaccines that are out there, could be ready by the second half of December. Now, that's just the approval process. It doesn't mean that the vaccines would be available to people right away, but that is so much faster than we were thinking just a couple months ago. They also talked about rapid antigen tests. There's been kind of concern about how that's going to be rolled out over Europe. Several leaders, I'm told, expressed concerns about the logistics of distributing vaccines next year, and also that a lot of people might be hesitant to take them. So they also talked about a joint EU communications effort to try to make people confident enough to take those vaccines. Finally, they did get an update on Brexit also. Separately, several leaders told the European Commission they want them to activate their no-deal contingency plans to speed up the preparations for a no-deal Brexit if it's coming in just 43 days at the end of the year. If that is going to take place, we would probably see that next week, that the Commission activates those plans, but we're still waiting to see if they can agree a deal.
Okay, Dave Keating, our correspondent in Brussels, thank you so much for that report.